he made mention of one thing. He said, if my bride price, pass 500,000 naira. I once dated a guy, like, he's from, northern part. Okay. So I think he's from Katsina, all those Jigawa side, northern pasture. So then this relationship, should I say it was like about, we did it when I was still in secondary school. That was when we started. No, I finished my secondary. He asked me out when I was still in secondary school, but because I told myself no until I finished my secondary school before I have anything to do with any guy or before I'll be in a relationship. To tell you guys the truth, he's the first guy that I ever said yes to. So when we started, after my secondary school, after I wrote my WAEC, then he came back and I said okay, and I accepted him. So in the northern part, when there's what we call Hira, so when your boyfriend comes to your place, he will sit very far from you. Like, you people will not sit together in one spot. That was the kind of relationship I had with that guy. So each time he comes, he will make sure before he comes that my dad is not around, because if my dad is around, my dad does not joke with me, his daughter, the first daughter. So guys, as I was saying, so that was how we keep going. Anytime he comes to see me, we outside there, they call it Hira, we call it Hira. Hira. Despite I'm not an outside girl, I'm an Igbo girl. Hello. So after from there, so he now told me that he got a job at Abuja. Okay, so that he wants to go to Abuja for a job. And I said, okay, your boyfriend wants to travel, go Abuja, may go make money for Nana, but meanwhile, my guy is stingy. I pray you go see this video, cha. So that was how he went. And when he traveled, so we keep communicating. So, but what I want to bring out in this video was, because you know that I'm from Imo State, that if my bride price past 500,000 naira, that is not going to get married to me. When he made that statement, I was like, okay, maybe as I find rich like this, 500,000 are too small to spend for my head, for my bride price. Like, he cannot spend above 500. So, meaning everything, like, I only watched 500,000, I put my hand for my head. Because then our relationship was, I think, about 8 years. I think so, something like 8 years. And I said, this was how I wasted 8 years of my. But the joy there was that he never entered my prime child. But because it was a distant relationship, very distant relationship. So when he made that statement, I realized this is not the guy for me. Yes. And that is why I always tell people that in a relationship, there is always a red flag. Don't ignore red flag in relationship, because if you ignore it if you ignore red flag in your relationship, my dear, you will mind it in your marriage. If you ignore red flag in your relationship, you see that marriage. That was when I know that this guy is not for me. Of course, he can never be for me. That when a guy opens his mouth and tells you such a thing, a wise lady should know that this is red flag. God does not want you to be in that relationship. That was why that guy made a. That is what has been on his mind. But on that day, he don't even know how to open up. And I was like, wow. That was how I just have to, like,